How's it going, everybody? Welcome. This is Konnex TV, episode 36. I'm with the amazing Christina Kimbrough. She's a good friend of mine. She's doing some incredible stuff. She's the co-founder of a company, Freelife, down in Norfolk area. She's really just doing something so impactful for the community. She's helping so many people. We really are so glad we have her on the show today. Christina, how are things going with you?
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here, first of all. So thank you. But, really well. I'm doing really well. I can't complain.
Yeah, so we want to go into your journey and stuff and see like what's going on with you. How did you decide to do this company? I mean, the stuff you're doing, the service you're providing, people need this all over the world. So take us back to the beginning. What's your origin story? How'd you get involved in this?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm 3 years sober from an addiction to alcohol. And when I was getting sober, the only methods to get sober were really 12-step programs and so for those that don't know, that's AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And, they're great programs if you need them and you use them. But like, if you're trying to get sober, that's really all that was available. And so now 3 years into sobriety, I was like, I don't have kids. I want to go out. I want to hang out with people. But I don't want to go to bars. I don't want to be around, drunk, drunk atmospheres. And so there was nowhere to find connection with people that didn't drink. So long story short, I met my co-founder, Elena, and she's sober as well. And we decided we're going to create a business called Freelife that simply connects people to events that are alcohol free and helps build community around that. And then the second part of that is we help people get sober through peer recovery and workshops.
Wow, that's just so incredible. I mean, a lot of people need that, especially with the alcohol addictions going on in the country. I mean, it's just such an incredible thing you're doing. So how did you meet Elena?
Yeah, so it's so crazy. We literally met at a coffee shop at another sober meetup. Someone in the area was like, kind of had the same idea. They said, hey, I'm looking to meet other people that don't drink. And so we just met and we just sat, I'm sure you meet people like this in your life who are going to make a difference. And we talked for hours. And then we just kept getting dinner, coffee, whatever. And we're like, there's a need out there. We want to connect other people to help make friendships like ours. And so our business was born.
That's just so amazing. We're so glad you were able to connect with the amazing Elena too. And so what's your background in? Like what's your background? How'd you get your career started before making the jump to be a business owner, entrepreneur?
Yeah, great question. So I'm a military spouse, and I bring that up because I've had to have many different iterations of my career. Because if people don't know, if you're a military spouse, you move a lot and it's just, it can be a hard lifestyle. So my bachelor's is in communications and marketing. And so I've worked for myself, honestly, for almost my whole career. But I've worked in government, nonprofit, and then political campaigns. So always doing communications, social media, and like brand strategy. So honestly, interestingly enough, it's parlayed really well into owning a business because a lot of entrepreneurship is having a good brand.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, talking about entrepreneurship, what's it like being a woman-owned entrepreneurship, entrepreneur and business?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I think I'm new. I mean, we were founded only in February, so it's exciting and overwhelming all at the same time. I think there's a lot of opportunities out there, luckily now for us, with female founded businesses, but also a lot of the places and spaces we're in are male dominated. So it's learning. I'm always honest. It's learning how to value my own voice. It's learning to know that, wait, you belong in the room. Like, you're the business owner now. It's your business and what you say has value. So it's a learning curve for sure, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, must be tough. I mean, that's so good that you're, a woman-owned business and you're hopefully inspiring and empowering other women to do so. I'm sure a lot of people in our audience look up to you and they wish they could be around you and stuff like that too. So what's the market like in your area, in the 757 area? How does that working? Are you looking to possibly expand across America? What's the few plans for Freelife?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's interesting is for our type of business, it's really a social entrepreneurship. So basically, if people don't know, it's a business with a purpose, right? Like, so obviously we want to make money because how else are you going to live? You're going to pay your bills and eat. But we do have the bigger purpose of making recovery accessible and then creating spaces for people that don't drink. So in the 757, interestingly enough, there's not really many businesses like us that exist. I mean, there's sober like meetups and, community, but there's no really other businesses. So that's been cool. And then, yes, to answer your second question, we would love to expand. That's the goal, to take it honestly worldwide, because I always say addiction isn't located to just one geographic location.
Yeah, I totally agree. Maybe that's something we can talk about. I can help you bring
Sure.
EMV area. We definitely desperately need it. But talk about like the current stuff that's out there, AA and things like that.
Sure.
It's like, is there a way to like integrate with them where they start promoting you and they're like, Freelife is another alternate company? Like, where do you see yourself kind of fitting in the marketplace?
Sure. So to be honest, AA probably wouldn't do that. They are great, but they do what they do, and you know what I mean. Like they've existed, I think, for over 100 years for a reason, and they serve their group, but they're not very innovative, to be honest. And that's part of why I found myself leaving the group, because I was like, well, what about like modern recovery? What about like different creative? But they have what they know works and stick to it. So now, that said, there are other companies that exist that are similar to what we're doing, that are open to innovation, and it's exciting. One of the big things we want to do is disrupt this idea that you just get therapy for recovery from an addiction. We really believe that we have to do the mind-body connection, right? So how are you sleeping? Are you eating? Are you working out? Because the way I got sober was a combination of all those things. So at Freelife, eventually we would love to help people understand that recovery really is a holistic thing.
That's just such an amazing thing you're doing. Wish we found you years ago,
I
Christina.
know, right?
Really about your full body mind connection, and I think also building a community of people that you can talk to and chat with.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
so it's just such an incredible thing you're doing. So what are you thinking about for other stuff in order to expand or scale? Like how could, like, what is needed next for you in order to grow? Like partnership deals with somebody, or?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So right now we're in a business accelerator program to kind of help us, because I'm new to entrepreneurship, right? Like I have no ego in saying I'm learning as I go. I think as most entrepreneurs do. But so there's two pieces to that. Really, we're trying to do it right. We're learning how to build a business, the framework of a business. So yeah, any kind of partnerships, anyone that knows how to scale a business like that, definitely open to those conversations. The second part of that is there's two more, is investing. So we're looking for investors at this point, because the ideal goal in the sky is an app where we can create connections for anybody that's sober or alcohol free. So you create a profile, you meet people, you can connect wherever you are in the world, and find events and other sober people, and then find peer recovery. So like if you're looking to get sober, we match you with someone who understands what you've been through, who gets it. Because I remember when I was getting sober, the problem I had with AA was I went in, it was a bunch of old white dudes, nothing against that demographic, but I was 31 years old, no kids. These people, we had nothing in common. So I didn't see myself in them. So to be honest, I kept drinking because I was like, well, this doesn't apply to me. So anyway, that's the dream, is to build out enough people that are in recovery that no matter your background, your race, your age, your gender, whatever, you can find someone in recovery that relates to your story. And so there's that piece. We're trying to build out the app. And then really, like, I guess those would be the two, is funding, and then building the app. So
That's just, man, just you hit so many points and nails in the head. And regarding the app, I think that's something we could even talk about, because
yeah,
you have
sure.
an app company development, but that'd be great. It's like a new social network for people that are going to get together to specifically work on this.
You get it. That's exactly what it is, really.
That's so amazing. And talking about the support system you're building for other people, how about your support system? Who's
Yeah.
helping you with your team? How did you get through this? Did you
Yeah.
have encouragement? And then also, did you have mentors or people in your life advising you? Like, how, it's very
Yeah.
difficult to run a business alone.
Yeah. Great question. So I would say two things. My founder you met her at one of our events. Elena is a phenomenal human. She's sober as well, so couldn't do it without her. And then I would say, secondly, we've been very blessed that we live in Hampton Roads, Virginia, and we're part of a nonprofit called 757 Startup Studios, and we have mentors. So we actually have our own business mentor from the state of Virginia who is basically holding our hand through this whole process because it's new, and also our business idea, it's a little creative. It's a little bit different. It's not like we have like a physical product we're offering people. It's also a business that's trying to shift and change culture and the way people think about alcohol. So anyway, yes, we have great support around us. Could not do it without them.
It's just, I will say it takes a really good team to build something
Yeah.
successful and a great idea. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's great that you have help. So what drives you, Christina, in this thing? What is your ambition? How come this keeps
Yeah.
you going? I mean, it's not producing you millions and millions of dollars. So what's
No.
really driving you deep down inside?
Yeah, love it. To be honest, I always joke, but selfishly, I needed this company 3 years ago. I just think about all the people that I could help get sober or change their life. Because when I was struggling in active addiction, I just didn't have the resources. AA was literally it. And if you don't fit in that traditional recovery model, you feel like a failure because they tell you like it's worked for everybody else, like it's your fault if it doesn't work. And so I really want to give the message out there to other people like, hey, that you're not broken, like the system's broken and there are other ways to get sober. So, and also then on the second part of that is just anybody that like wants to maybe try living an alcohol-free life, right? Like my co-founder is not in recovery. She just got sober to be healthy and she loves it. So I'd love to introduce people to the possibility of just doing things without alcohol. I always love to say, I'm not anti-alcohol. I'm not going to tell people to stop drinking, but I would love to introduce people to the idea of, hey, can you go to an event without alcohol? See what you feel like. See if you like it.
Yeah, people should try it out and stuff. So talking about that, how do people get connected with you? Should I include a website link above or below? How do people connect with you? Your Instagram, your website, email?
Yeah, thank you. So right now our website's under construction, as you know how that goes. We had to delete it because we had a team member recently leave, and so we're in the middle of figuring that out. I'm sure you know how that goes. Startup problems, but one of the best ways to do it is to just find us on Instagram. It's Freelife LLC. So you can look at it, or Facebook, whatever people use. So Instagram or Facebook are the best ways to get a hold of us. I can give you my email too. I'm very open. I mean, I literally run everything. So if people want to reach out to me personally, I have no problem giving out my email as well.
Sure. What's your email?
Sure. So it's my first name, Christina, CHRISTINA at freelifellc.com.
Perfect. I'm going to include the link below. People need to
Thank
connect
you.
with you. There's so many people out there that need your help and your services. So it's just
Yeah.
such a great thing you're doing for people. So what's like the obstacles and like things you're looking for, obstacles to entry, barriers that might affect you that, you might need to overcome?
That's a great question. So to be honest, and I'm sure you know this, you work in this space, it's right now, it's scaling and funding. So all the events that we do right now are free, which is great. And I love them. But if I want to stay married, no, I'm kidding, but not. We need to start being able to charge for events, right? Because everything that Elena and I do is out of pocket. So, which we don't mind at first, but right now it's just learning how to charge for events, seeing if the market is there that people would pay for the events, even keeping them affordable. But, we run a couple of free events a month, and that's a lot of time and work. So to be honest, that's that portion, just learning how to scale and learning how to monetize.
That's something I could definitely help you with, Christina. I'm an
Yeah.
expert at monetizing and scaling. We help set up events in the DMV area. So I can
Nice.
easily help partner with you guys, set up a bunch of events. And I think people agree out there. What you have is really valuable and people need it. So people will be willing to pay for something that's desperately needed. And it doesn't have to be extremely expensive, but it's fair.
Exactly.
People
Yeah.
understand you're a business owner. You have to make, sell tickets and stuff. So
Very cool. You understand it. Well, thank you so much.
yeah, we want to help you. So yeah, moving forward, what are your plans this week, this summer? What's the timeline? June,
Yeah.
July, August, you got a long summer ahead of us.
We do. So June 28th, we're very excited. We move into our own offices in a co-working space downtown. So that's exciting. Yeah, thank you. Because right now we literally, where I'm sitting, do it at my kitchen table. which is fine for a season, so we'll be doing that. And then after that, we will be actually kicking off our first events of sober storytelling. So we will be doing storytelling events throughout the area, which we'd love to come to DC. If you know anyone, connect us. But it'll be people just I'll be telling my story, 3 storytellers, 2 to 5 minutes, and they're just sharing their stories of how they got sober and how they stay sober today. That's it.
Wow.
Providing hope to other people.
And when does that start?
June 24th is the first one out here. But I mean, we'd love to expand. So if you know anybody that would love to host us, we'll be there.
Guys listening out there, if anybody knows, contact Christina herself and let's get that started. So you think once or twice a month, would this be a reoccurring event?
Yep, monthly. And so, right. So thank you for asking. There's both. So we need spaces to host. So if we have a place now that we can do, but we're definitely would love to travel. And then 2, we're also always looking for storytellers. So I always say, if anyone is in, you don't even have to be in recovery from an addiction. If you just don't drink and you'd love to share your story, why, we want to hear it.
That's just so amazing. We'll make sure we'll post this content all over the world so people can come out and reach out to you. I myself know a few venues that could help you. So I think this is just such a great thing you're doing for the community. So I don't know, what else should we know about what's going on with what's your story is, how to expand? Like we want to know more about you, Christina.
Thank you. I mean, you're doing an incredible job. I think you really hit on it. I think the big thing that we want to do is just get the message out there that, like, if you want to get sober, you can. And then the other portion of that is just changing culture, right? Like, we don't have to drink to connect. That's been a message that I really want to hone to people. Like, anything you do with alcohol, maybe try it without. Take a night off drinking, see how you feel. I've never had someone say, oh, I quit drinking and I really regret not drinking. You know what I mean? Like, nobody ever, to me, at least in this work, has been like, yeah, I didn't have a drink last night and wow, I feel terrible.
Yeah, maybe we should start like an ad campaign or something. It just struck me, like a hashtag thing. Like people go out and they do, a non-drinking event and they say, hashtag Freelife, and they start tagging you.
I love it.
Maybe they have some type of like, system with with the company, like you get to come to events or you get to be a storyteller or something.
I love it. That's so good. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah,
you got all the good ideas.
Well, we got to do something. We want to help you expand. So
thank you.
But yeah, we just a few more things we want to know. So with Elena also, so she's involved helping you set up events, and too, like, how does it work having a co-founder? What's the difference between having a single person and then having a co-founder with you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never done anything by myself, so I don't know, but I will say I'm so grateful. I got really lucky, oddly. Our skill sets are very aligned, thank God, because I do more of like outreach, you know what I mean? Like branding, that kind of thing. And she's more of like, she can do the numbers and the crunching and like that kind of thing in the business side. So we really tag team everything. It's kind of all hands on deck, but yes, luckily we both, we work together.
That's great. You guess she has certain skills, you have skills.
Exactly. Exactly.
You guys have a meetup group?
We do. Yeah. So that's really how it started, was we just had a meetup group in the meetup app where we would go, get lunch, take walks in the park, get coffee. And they're all free. We do monthly events there where people can just meet and create, sober connections.
Another thought also, because it's you and Elena down there, if you had like brand ambassadors or someone you hired for Freelife that worked in like DC, North Carolina, et cetera, and all the different states, that's a way to start slowly expanding too. You could have people represent your band doing meetup events under your organization.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, that would be exactly, because it's really that simple. Like, it's the format. Well, there isn't a format. Like, you literally just pick somewhere that's accessible to everybody and just say, hey, if you're looking for alcohol-free community, join us.
It's just so amazing, Christina. We're so glad we had you on our show. You're such an amazing person. Any last final thoughts you want to say to people about what you're doing, or maybe help them with the recovery?
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I love that. I think the biggest thing I would say, like, I think back to myself 3 years ago, is that, like, if you're watching this and you want to get sober, know that you can. Recovery is always possible.
That's just so amazing. And you were the person to connect with.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, send me a DM too, because I have resources for people as well.
That's amazing. Christina, thank you so much for having us on your show. You guys out there, connect with Christina.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.